Hi, I'm Ron with Amazing Mile Marker Stops, and we're in Kilkenny, Georgia, AIM 614 on the Atlantic ICW. Previously on Amazing Mile Marker Stops.
I'm in shallow water.
An unobservant tugboat operator forces Elixir onto a sandbar. Elixir becomes a hospital boat as Ron undergoes an operation. And we get our first ever drone footage. We saw so many unique characteristics of dolphins on this day that we decided to call it Dolphin Education Day. First of all, dolphins really enjoy riding on the bow of boats. As every boater has witnessed, they actually will wait for you to come, and oftentimes they get so excited that they just can't wait and come swimming towards you, like these did. They also bring their young along to teach them the fun of bow riding. We noticed as we watched this mother and her calf that he apparently can't hold his breath as long as she can, and would rise to the surface 2 to 3 times for every time she did. Whether or not a dolphin will ride your bow is somewhat speed dependent. Too slow and it's no fun for them. Too fast and they can't keep up. So you have to be just the right speed. What that is, I'm not exactly certain, but we have noticed that below 6 knots, they tend to not get on your bow, and my boat's too slow to know what the top end is. As you can see in this instance, we were doing below 6 knots, and this dolphin came over to check us out, but found out we were too slow and decided not to ride the bow.
We can get on.
I think the dolphins are just as curious about us as we are about them, and you can often see them roll over onto their side. We're pretty sure they're looking at us, like this one, and this one. Even after receiving injuries which appear to be from propeller blades, dolphins will still come over and ride your bow. This may be a testament to both their intelligence, knowing that even though our boat has a propeller, it's different from the very fast boats that cause the injury, and to the fun of riding the bow of a boat. Here you can see a small scar on the back of this dolphin.
There he is.
And the injury to the neck of this dolphin must have really hurt. His injury actually caused him to swim in an odd manner, and it seemed as though he couldn't straighten his neck out. Yet, here he was, riding the bow of our boat. After learning much about dolphins, it was time to continue on to our destination. This is Marker 107 Restaurant. And it sits right on the water, which is right out those windows. You can sit inside or you can sit outside on the porch and look at the water. The next morning we said goodbye to Marker 107 Restaurant as we headed to our next destination. Alright guys, the reason I called y'all here is we got a problem. There's a tropical disturbance. We've discussed this a little bit over in the Gulf. It's number 16 and it is heading this way. It's supposed to actually cut right across Georgia tomorrow. Hitting Albany, by the way. We want to check on that. At least that's the projected path. At the moment it's still just a disturbance. It's not a tropical storm yet, but it is going to impact us. And so we were supposed to pull in tomorrow, anchor tonight, and then pull in tomorrow at Two-Way Fish Camp around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But at this point, the winds are supposed to be 25-mile-an-hour winds gusting to 40 with a 100% chance of rain. At the moment, we're supposed to pull in. So, not a good time to pull in. And of course, we can't adjust it. Well, all of tomorrow is nasty as far as the weather goes, so it really wouldn't matter. But as you know, we can only pull into our slip on an incoming tide. And even then, preferably when it's slowly incoming and not kicking. This would have the wind pushing us into the slip if we didn't go in against the current. The current's behind us and the wind behind us, we can just slam into that slip. So tomorrow's not a good day to pull in. So I've checked everything and looked at the weather, looked at the tides, looked at everything possible. And here's the two alternatives to come up with, so we got to figure out which one we want to do. One is we keep going. We don't stop today. We're supposed to be stopping in about an hour. We've got about 5 hours left before we get to Two-Way Fish Camp, which will be about 7 o'clock tonight. But we can't pull in at 7 o'clock tonight because the current is going out. We can't pull in on an outgoing tide. What we could do is get there and drop anchor just right there within sight. There is an anchorage within sight of the marina. So we could go there and drop anchor and wait a couple hours. Around 9 o'clock tonight is when we could pull in, and a day early, and be there tied to the dock tomorrow when all that weather hits. The other option is to drop anchor where we were going to drop today, which is around the Darien River, just north of the Little Mud River, and ride out that storm tomorrow on the hook. which means we'd be down below the whole day pretty much. It's gonna be nasty weather all day. We just ride it out. Sunday's supposed to be nice weather again, and we could pull in Sunday around 10 o'clock in the morning and still have a few hours to button up the boat before we have to leave and head inland. So that's our two options. Make a long day today, tie up to the dock in the dark, or just stay where we're going to stay today anyway and wait out the storm tomorrow and pull in a day late and then just button up and go inland. Thoughts, suggestions?
Well, if you pull into the dock, then you're cinched down to the dock when the storm hits, and I like that idea rather than
That's true.
so I definitely like that. It just depends on how hairy it's going to get out there on the hook with that storm. That's my next question. You know?
Well, we've been through several storms pushing 50-mile-an-hour winds, not just gusting, 50-mile gusting to higher. Of course, one of them ripped our bipping top off, so that was a 50-mile-an-hour storm.
And twisted everything up.
Yeah. So, I mean, if it's going to do that, it's going to do it at the dock too. So, but as far as the boat goes, it was fine. We were fine. It's just it pushes the boat around a lot, swings you around on the hook, and you can't do anything but stay inside and do stuff. You're stuck inside all day, which we will be at the marina anyway. Same thing. The storm's going to hit us. So.
Well, I think in the marina you actually get a little bit more protection from the wind because you got the other boats around you. And
that's possible.
Well, and you're cinched down to the marina too.
well,
so
yeah.
You don't spin around.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, because it could turn into a tropical storm before tomorrow. We don't know. Right now, it's just a disturbance.
You know what time sunset is?
Tonight,
Probably left
it's 6:51. So we'd be arriving
Right about the time sunset.
right about sunset to
Yeah.
drop the hook.
Of course, we get about 20 minutes of light after sunset.
So I get the
I
impression
concur.
that's the consensus: is go on straight, hit the anchorage, anchor right off of the marina, and pull in
Before our
tonight
time.
around 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I like that. That feels better to me.
Is the marina within view?
Of the anchorage?
anchorage?
Yeah.
Yeah, so once you pull that anchor, it's not any time when you're in there. So we can pick, like you said, we can pick that moment.
And we can see when we're pulling in, we'll be able to see where the crab traps are.
Right.
So we'll know if there's any we have to worry about to get into the marina. Because we won't be able to see them after dark. All right, well, that's what we'll do then.
Okay.
That's the plan.
Sometimes problems come in pairs, and that's the way it was this day. No sooner had we made our decision of what to do with the storm that was headed our way than another problem arose. Our engine just died. We're going through the Altamaha Sound. We're about 2 hours from the marina, and suddenly it just died. It sounded to me like we just lost fuel. So I've switched fuel tanks to the other side. It still wouldn't start up. So I'm gonna go bleed the engine, make sure there's no air in it. And we'll see if that fixes it.
And it's hot.
And it's hot.
You already burnt yourself once?
Yeah, I already touched it once. The decks are angled and it's hard to climb down here without bracing yourself. But you can't brace yourself on a hot engine. All right, we got the engines running again. Apparently I was correct. We just got air in the lines. We had changed one of the rake cores before we left on the trip a week ago, over a week ago, and it just took till now to decide it wanted to suck some of that air up and shut our engine down. So we bled the line out. She seems to be running fine, so we're gonna get underway and keep on trying to get that marina tonight. Beat that tropical storm coming. All right, just as we planned, we've dropped anchor within sight of the marina, which is right over there. Maybe 2 football fields away from us. So I'm sure they're all over there wondering why we're dropped anchor here. But as we said, we can't pull in until the tide changes, which is going to be about 9 o'clock tonight. And then we'll be able to pull into our slip. So what do you do when you've dropped anchor this close to your marina? And that is grill some food. So we're grilling up some dinner, and we're just going to relax and wait until 9 o'clock tonight. All right, we enjoyed our dinner, and we've got all the lines ready to tie up. We've got all the fenders overboard, and we're ready to pull into the slip. As you can see, it's really black behind me. If there's a moon out there, we can't see it. So it's dark, and we have never docked at night. So this is a first for us, and it's pitch black out there, but we're gonna give it a go, and hopefully it'll work out. So we're gonna be weighing anchor in just a minute and heading towards the dock, see how it goes. The only light on the docks is coming from the electrical stanchions that are meant to kind of help you walk along the dock, but other than that, the marina is pretty dark. You ready to pull her up? I can't see the chain at all yet directly. I'm trying to kill my things up here. They don't bother me. I'm flying without instruments. Yep. Alright, Marie, get ready. Let me straighten the load up. You got it, Marie?
Yes, I got it.
And thus we successfully completed our first ever nighttime docking. If you'd like to help us make more of these videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It helps more than you know. And don't forget to check out the nation's largest free online travel guide for boaters, AmazingMileMarkerStops.com. And like us on Facebook. And remember, don't just cruise.
Visit Amazing Mile Marker Stops. You're on.
Hi, I'm Ron with Amazing Mile Marker Stops, and we're in Kilkenny, Ames 614 on the Atlantic ICW. So we're going to be weighing anchor in just a minute.